Francois, how do you see 2015 as an opportunity to restore confidence in Bordeaux that has clearly been lacking these last few years?
Yes. I would say that to restore confidence in with your clients and your wholesalers and your whole distribution is a long-term ways of being in fair relations. Would 2015 restore confidence? Would it be an opportunity? Certainly. Certainly. Will everyone take over this, take the train of this opportunity, you know? Unfortunately, world is interested in the results short-term basis. I don't know, but it would be perfect if taking this opportunity. Okay. C'est intéressant, vous s'ennuyez ou pas?
Non, non, c'est bon, c'est bon, c'est bon. There is connected perhaps to the same question. Do you think it is worthwhile consumers buying En Primeur in general and your wines in particular?
Well, in my wines, certainly, always. For a very simple reason, is that the quantity is not enormous, the demand is really strong, the prices are, let's say, reasonable in a certain way, and people who love these wines, they always they always are rewarded to buy it En Primeur, either because the value afterwards is higher, either most important because they can have it, you know, they can have it. Okay. So in this case, yes, for my wines, I'm sure it's an interesting thing. Now, generally, in the world of Bordeaux, there are some wines that are very exciting to be bought En Primeur. Other wines, they are exciting to be bought En Primeur only in great vintages, because their demand is not strong enough to excite the demand of the lovers of wine.
Just getting back to the quality of the vintage, the summer was very, very warm and above all very, very dry. And we know a lot of lighter soiled vineyards that almost begged to be irrigated. You clearly have a cold soil, you have a dense soil, you have a moisture retaining soil. What difficulties did the growing season have with you? Firstly in the summer and then at the end of the season?
This climate was not difficult finally. The vineyard was at the end of the year, entering to the winter, not very strong, but not defeated, if you could say. Just because this drought started from the last autumn, so the plant has a time to adapt to the situation. So the vineyard went in a very slow maturation, not to transpire too much because of this regularly drought, and were well adapted to the season. Never forget that there is something strange in our country. It's an Atlantic influence with rather high hygrometry on the air, which made that in this type of soil we made even very exciting wines in the canicule, we say that in English, year of 2003, you know. C'est très étrange. Il faudra que je le refasse goûter parce que tu l'avais aimé, c'est une merveille maintenant.
C'est très bien.
Et maintenant c'est une merveille, Adam. Si un jour on déjeune ensemble, il faut que tu me le regoutes. Oui.
All right. Thank you. Which markets are growing for you? I mean, you've got the traditional markets in Europe and, dare I say, particularly the UK, but also US. We hear that there's an interest coming back.
Yes, US is certainly a big interest coming back. It's starting again very strong. China is again, all Asia is again developing, and and the traditional market, they remain good and steady in their ways, you know. I would say so.
And finally, the most difficult question, and the one that we all ask. Could you make a comparison at this early stage with a vintage at a similarly early stage? Any other vintage?
Obviously, every vintage, and that is the most exciting, has the strangeness when you make pure vintage with no selection, as the disturbing and emotional strangeness of its proper character. Specifically, if you make no second wine and you express completely the character of the vintage. Now, to try to make analogy, if we want absolutely to make it, I would say that since the last 10 years, we are surprised about climates that we were not much used in this country, where the maturation is rather slow, and we harvest, we say, global warming. I don't really understand. We harvest rather late, fruit ripe and fresh, which was not, which was very rare when I was young. When I was young, either it was warm summer, opulent cake, you could say, autumn and light flavors, and sometimes a little bit aggressive. Now, let's say you can talk about even 2000, you can say 2005, you can say 2007, 2008, you can say 2010 even. Very ripe and harvested in October. So I would say this is a particular condition of the character of 2015 are in the family of the last decade type of a climate and type of maturation flavors of the fruit.
So 5, 7, 8, 10,
right,
somewhere
right.
in that range.
Absolument, beaucoup, even 2001 if you want to look, you know.
2001.
But it has 2015 inside this family has definitely its proper strangeness of character. That is sure.